How to create a longevity-focused meal plan that actually works for you, not just in theory but in real life. I've spent years researching nutritional approaches that support healthy aging, and I've found that while the science is fascinating, many people struggle to implement these principles in their everyday lives. Let's be honest, most longevity diets fail not because the science behind them is wrong, but because they're too restrictive, complicated, or disconnected from your actual lifestyle. The most effective longevity meal plan is one you can actually maintain for decades, not just weeks or months. Start by understanding what the research actually shows about nutrition and longevity. The blue zones, regions where people commonly live to 100 plus, show us that longevity isn't about strict rules but rather consistent patterns. These centenarians don't follow complicated meal plans, they eat mostly plant foods, consume moderate protein, and rarely overeat. Instead of jumping straight to specific foods, first assess your current eating patterns. What are your food preferences? What's your schedule like? What cultural foods do you enjoy? Longevity nutrition should enhance your life, not diminish it. Your meal plan needs to work within the realities of your schedule, budget, cooking abilities, and taste preferences. Focus on adding rather than subtracting. Add more vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and whole grains before worrying about what to eliminate. Research shows that increasing the good stuff naturally crowds out less beneficial foods without triggering the psychological resistance that comes with restriction. Consider the timing of your meals too. Many longevity researchers practice time-restricted eating, condensing their food intake to an 8-12 hour window. But you don't need to start with a strict 16-hour fast. Even limiting late-night eating can provide benefits without feeling punitive. Protein deserves special attention. While high-protein diets are popular for weight management, moderate protein intake, 0.8 to 1.0 g per kg of body weight, may be optimal for longevity. Focus on plant proteins like legumes and nuts, with smaller amounts of animal protein if you choose to include it. Don't overlook the importance of pleasure and social connection. In blue zones, meals are social events, not solitary fuel stops. The longevity benefits of sharing meals with others are well documented, potentially because this practice promotes slower eating, better digestion, and psychological well-being. Remember that stress about perfect eating can undermine the very longevity benefits you're seeking. Allow flexibility in your approach. The occasional departure from your ideal eating pattern won't negate the benefits of your overall dietary pattern. Finally, implement changes gradually. Small, sustainable shifts compound over time. Perhaps start by adding one plant-based meal per week, then gradually increase. Or begin by focusing on breakfast, then expand to other meals. This approach aligns with how habits actually form and persist. The most effective longevity meal plan is personalized to your preferences, lifestyle, and goals. By focusing on principles rather than rigid rules, you can create an approach that supports both a longer lifespan and, more importantly, a longer health span, the period of life spent in good health. How to make your longevity meal plan work in the real world requires understanding that nutrition is just one piece of a larger puzzle. While we've covered the fundamentals of what to eat and when, implementing these principles within your unique life context is where the real magic happens. Consider the environment where you eat. Your physical surroundings significantly impact your eating habits. Create a pleasant eating space that encourages mindfulness. This might mean setting an actual table rather than eating in front of screens, using dishes you enjoy, or even adding a small vase of flowers. Research shows we tend to eat more mindfully and often make better food choices when we create intentional eating environments. Pay attention to your relationship with cooking. Many longevity-promoting foods require some preparation. If cooking feels like a burden, start with ultra-simple preparations. A bowl of mixed greens with canned beans, nuts, olive oil and lemon juice takes minutes to prepare but delivers significant nutritional benefits. As your comfort increases, You might explore more complex preparations that can turn humble ingredients into delicious meals. Don't overlook the importance of sleep in your longevity nutrition plan. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones and often leads to poorer food choices. Improving sleep quality can make it easier to stick with your nutritional intentions. This creates a positive cycle. Better nutrition supports better sleep, which in turn supports better food choices. Consider tracking your energy levels rather than just what you eat. Notice how different meals affect your mental clarity, physical energy, and mood hours later. This personalized feedback is invaluable for refining your approach. You might discover that certain foods or meal timing patterns work uniquely well for your body. Remember that hydration is fundamental to cellular health and longevity. Many people confuse thirst with hunger. Starting your day with water and maintaining hydration throughout the day supports metabolic processes and often naturally regulates appetite. Be intentional about your relationship with alcohol. While some research suggests modest wine consumption may have benefits in certain populations, alcohol generally doesn't promote longevity. If you choose to include alcohol, do so mindfully and sparingly, perhaps saving it for social occasions rather than daily consumption. Learn to navigate eating away from home. Restaurant portions are typically much larger than what supports longevity, and ingredients often include more sodium, sugar and less beneficial oils than home-prepared foods. Consider strategies like sharing dishes, immediately boxing half your meal, or selecting restaurants that align better with your nutritional approach. Incorporate movement into your daily rhythm. The longest-lived populations don't separate exercise from daily life. Movement is integrated throughout their day. Even standing and walking after meals can improve glucose metabolism and digestion. Give yourself permission to adjust your approach as life circumstances change. Your nutritional needs and preferences will evolve with different life stages, seasons, and situations. The ability to adapt while maintaining core principles is more valuable than rigid adherence to a specific plan. Finally, embrace the journey. Longevity nutrition is not about perfection but persistence. Each meal is an opportunity to nourish yourself, not a test to pass or fail. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, you're more likely to maintain the consistency that truly matters for long-term health and longevity. How to integrate mindfulness practices into your longevity nutrition plan for even greater benefits. I've noticed in my years of research that people who approach their eating with presence and awareness tend to develop more sustainable habits that truly support their longevity goals. Mindful eating begins before you even take your first bite. When you prepare to eat, take a moment to appreciate the food in front of you. Consider its origins, the nutrients it contains, and how it will nourish your body. This brief moment of gratitude not only centers you, but actually prepares your digestive system to receive food more efficiently. Pay attention to your body's hunger and fullness signals. Many of us have become disconnected from these natural cues, eating according to the clock or continuing until our plate is empty. The centenarians and longevity hotspots typically stop eating when they're about 80% full, a practice called hara hachibu in Okinawa. This natural caloric restriction happens not through strict measurement but through body awareness. When you eat, truly eat, put away your devices, turn off the television, and engage fully with your food. Notice the flavors, textures, and aromas. Chew thoroughly, which improves digestion and allows you to extract more nutrients from your food. You might be surprised to discover that foods you've eaten hundreds of times reveal new dimensions when you give them your full attention. Consider keeping a food and mood journal, not to track calories or macros, but to develop awareness of how different foods affect your energy, mood, digestion, and sleep. This personal data is incredibly valuable for crafting a longevity nutrition plan that works specifically for your body. You might notice patterns emerging. Perhaps certain foods leave you feeling energized while others cause afternoon fatigue. Practice cultivating a sense of abundance rather than scarcity around food. When we feel deprived, We are more likely to abandon our intentions and overconsume when the opportunity arises. Instead, focus on all the delicious, nutritious foods you can enjoy rather than what you're limiting. This mindset shift transforms diet from punishment to pleasure. Listen to your body's feedback about digestion. Bloating, gas, heartburn, or other discomforts are important signals that certain foods or eating patterns may not be serving your body well. In the pursuit of longevity, comfort after eating is an underappreciated indicator of compatibility between your food choices and your unique physiology. Work on slowing down your eating pace. Fast eating not only diminishes your enjoyment of food, but is associated with overeating and poor metabolic health. Try putting your utensils down between bites or engaging in conversation if dining with others. These natural pauses allow your body to register satiety signals before you've overconsumed. Remember that stress management is inseparable from nutrition when it comes to longevity. High stress levels can undermine even the most nutritious diet by promoting inflammation and disrupting digestion. Simple practices like taking 3 deep breaths before eating or expressing gratitude for your meal can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that optimizes nutrient absorption. As you develop greater mindfulness around eating, you might naturally find yourself gravitating toward foods that truly nourish you. Many people report that as they become more attuned to their body's responses, their cravings for heavily processed foods diminish while their enjoyment of whole foods increases. This evolution happens not through willpower but through heightened awareness. By integrating these mindfulness practices with the nutritional principles we've discussed, you create a comprehensive approach to longevity nutrition that addresses not just what you eat, but how you eat. This holistic perspective honors the wisdom of traditional cultures where food is medicine, pleasure, and community all at once, a truly sustainable path to not just longer life, but better life. How to create a sustainable supplement strategy to complement your longevity nutrition plan. I've found that while food should always be your foundation, thoughtfully chosen supplements can address specific needs that even the best diet might not fully satisfy. When approaching supplements for longevity, it's crucial to start with a personalized assessment rather than following generic recommendations. Your age, gender, genetic background, existing health conditions, and even where you live can all influence which supplements might benefit you most. What works brilliantly for someone else might offer little benefit to you. Consider getting appropriate testing before starting any supplement regimen. Basic blood work can reveal potential deficiencies in vitamin D, B12, iron, or magnesium, common gaps even in otherwise healthy diets. More advanced testing might include micronutrient panels or genetic testing that can identify your specific metabolic needs and how you process certain nutrients. Start with addressing the fundamentals. Vitamin D is particularly relevant for longevity, as optimal levels are associated with reduced all-cause mortality, yet deficiency is remarkably common, especially in northern climates or among people with limited sun exposure. Magnesium is another nutrient many people don't get enough of, despite its involvement in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body and its role in supporting cardiovascular health. For those following plant-based diets, vitamin B12 supplementation is non-negotiable, as this critical nutrient primarily comes from animal foods. Even omnivores, particularly those over 50, may benefit from B12 supplements as absorption naturally decreases with age. Consider supplements that address the core mechanisms of aging. NAD+ precursors like NMN or NR show promise for supporting cellular energy production and DNA repair, though research is still evolving. Omega-3 fatty acids have substantial evidence for supporting cardiovascular and cognitive health, especially important if you don't regularly consume fatty fish. Antioxidant supplements present a more complex picture. While oxidative stress contributes to aging, high-dose isolated antioxidants haven't shown consistent benefits in research. Instead, consider compounds like CoQ10, particularly if you're taking statins or astaxanthin, which work through multiple mechanisms beyond simple antioxidant activity. Pay attention to quality and form. The supplement industry is poorly regulated, and not all products contain what they claim. Look for supplements tested by third parties like USP, NSF, or Consumer Lab. The form matters too. For example, magnesium glycinate is better absorbed than magnesium oxide, and methylated B vitamins are often more bioavailable, especially for those with certain genetic variations. Timing your supplements appropriately can enhance their effectiveness. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K, are better absorbed with meals containing healthy fats. Some minerals compete for absorption pathways, so separating calcium and iron supplements is wise. Probiotics may survive better if taken before meals rather than with food. Remember that more isn't always better. Excessive supplementation can create imbalances or even toxicity in some cases. Water-soluble vitamins like C and most B vitamins have a wider safety margin since excesses are typically excreted, but fat-soluble vitamins and many minerals can accumulate to potentially harmful levels. Be especially cautious with supplements that affect hormonal pathways. While compounds like resveratrol or berberine show promise in research, they can have complex effects on metabolic signaling. What benefits a mouse in a laboratory setting might not translate perfectly to your biology. Review your supplement strategy periodically with a knowledgeable healthcare provider. As your lifestyle, diet, and health status evolve, your supplementation needs will change too. What supported you at 40 might not be what your body needs at 60 or 70. Track your response to supplements objectively. Beyond just how you feel, consider testing nutrient levels after several months or tracking relevant biomarkers. This data-driven approach helps distinguish genuine benefits from placebo effects and ensures you're investing in supplements that truly support your longevity goals. Perhaps most importantly, view supplements as exactly that, supplements to an already solid nutrition foundation, not replacements for wholesome food. The complex interactions between thousands of compounds and whole foods can never be fully replicated in pill form. Your longevity supplement strategy should enhance your nutrition plan, addressing specific gaps or needs while the majority of your nutrients continue to come from varied, minimally processed foods. How to navigate the often confusing world of fasting for longevity benefits without getting lost in extreme approaches or pseudoscience. I've observed that while fasting has strong scientific backing for its potential longevity benefits, many people struggle to implement it in a sustainable way that fits their lifestyle. Fasting exists on a spectrum, and finding your optimal approach doesn't require embracing the most extreme versions. The research shows that even modest fasting protocols can trigger beneficial cellular mechanisms like autophagy, your body's cellular cleaning process, and metabolic flexibility, your ability to efficiently switch between burning carbs and fat for fuel. Start by considering the simplest form of fasting, the overnight fast that naturally occurs between dinner and breakfast. Extending this period even slightly, say, finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and not eating until 8 a.m. the next day, creates a 13-hour fasting window that research suggests may provide measurable health benefits without feeling restrictive. If you're comfortable with this approach, you might gradually extend your fasting window to 14, 16, or even 18 hours. Pay close attention to how your body responds. Some people thrive with longer daily fasts, while others find their energy, mood, or sleep quality suffers. Women, in particular, sometimes need shorter fasting windows as female hormones can be more sensitive to extended fasting periods. Time-restricted eating, confining your meals to a specific daily window, is just one approach. Alternate day fasting, where you significantly reduce calories every other day, works better for some people. Others prefer the 5-2 method, eating normally 5 days a week and reducing calories to about 500-600 on 2 non-consecutive days. The key is matching your fasting approach to your lifestyle realities. Do you have family meals that are important to you? Does your work schedule make certain fasting windows impractical? Do you take medications that require food? These practical considerations matter more than following the perfect fasting protocol. Consider starting with a modest approach during less stressful periods in your life. Fasting creates a hormetic stress, a beneficial challenge to your body, but this benefit can become harmful when combined with excessive psychological stress, inadequate sleep, or intensive physical training. Stay hydrated during fasting periods. Water, black coffee, and unsweetened tea are generally considered acceptable during fasts as they don't trigger significant insulin responses. Some research suggests that a small amount of fat, like a teaspoon of MCT oil in coffee, might not significantly disrupt fasting benefits, though purists might disagree. Pay attention to how you break your fast. After extended periods without food, your digestive system benefits from gentle reintroduction. Consider breaking your fast with easy-to-digest foods like soups, smoothies, or small portions of protein with vegetables rather than large, carbohydrate-heavy meals that might cause blood sugar spikes. Remember that fasting isn't appropriate for everyone. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, underweight, have a history of eating disorders, or certain medical conditions like diabetes, fasting may not be advisable without medical supervision. Children and adolescents generally shouldn't practice extended fasting as their bodies need regular nutrition for growth and development. Track not just how long you fast, but how you feel during and after fasting periods. Do you experience better mental clarity, improved digestion, more stable energy? These subjective benefits can be just as meaningful as the potential long-term longevity effects. Be willing to adjust your approach as your life circumstances change. During periods of higher stress or physical demands, you might benefit from shorter fasting windows or taking breaks from fasting altogether. This flexibility isn't failure, it's wisdom in listening to your body's changing needs. Consider occasional longer fasts if shorter daily fasting windows become comfortable for you. A 24-36-hour fast a few times a year may provide additional benefits, though these should be approached carefully and preferably with some guidance, especially the first few times. Balance is crucial. Some research suggests that constant caloric restriction, or overly frequent extended fasting, might eventually slow metabolism, or create nutritional gaps. Cycling between periods of fasting and normal eating may offer the benefits while minimizing potential downsides. Perhaps most importantly, approach fasting as an experiment in working with your body, not a battle against hunger or test of willpower. The most sustainable fasting practice is one that eventually feels natural and even pleasant, something your body adapts to rather than constantly resists. When implemented thoughtfully, fasting can become not just a longevity practice but a tool for developing greater awareness of your body's true needs.